What if I told you that the only thing standing between you and massive wealth isn't your job, your education, or even your circumstances, but a silent force buried deep within you, your subconscious mind? Right now, it's running old programs. Programs of lack, limitation, fear, scarcity. Beliefs you didn't choose, but you've been living by. But what if starting today you could rewrite the code? What if you could flip the switch and become a magnet for abundance? In the next few chapters, you're going to discover how to rewire the hidden patterns that have silently shaped your money story and awaken a new identity, one that naturally attracts wealth, opportunity, and limitless possibility. This isn't just a book. It's a transformation, a rebirth, a complete upgrade of how you think, feel, and receive. If you're ready to stop surviving and start thriving, then press play, and let's begin. Chapter 1. The Hidden Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Your subconscious mind is the silent architect of your life. Every belief you hold, every financial decision you make, and every emotion you feel about money begins not in your logical brain, but deep within your subconscious programming. It's not your conscious wishes, but your unconscious beliefs that shape your reality. That's why so many people dream of being wealthy, yet live paycheck to paycheck, trapped in scarcity. You might consciously want wealth and abundance. You may repeat affirmations, set goals, or work harder than ever. But if your subconscious mind is running an old program of fear, doubt, or lack, it will sabotage every effort without you even realizing it. It's like pressing the accelerator with one foot while the other is on the brake. You move, but painfully slow and with constant resistance. Your subconscious is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant in it, positive beliefs or toxic thoughts, it will grow without question. It doesn't argue. It doesn't analyze. It simply accepts. If you've been raised hearing things like, money is the root of all evil, or we can't afford that, or rich people are greedy, those words didn't just bounce off your ears. They got planted in your subconscious, where they've been quietly influencing your choices for years. This inner programming began in childhood. Between the ages of 0 and 7, your brain was in a theta state, the same brainwave state used in hypnosis. During that time, you absorbed beliefs like a sponge, without critical thinking. If your parents argued about money, you learned money causes stress. If you saw them struggle, you learned life is hard and money is limited. You didn't choose these beliefs. They were given to you. But now, you must consciously rewrite them. Science confirms what ancient wisdom has taught for centuries. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself, proves that we are not stuck with our old patterns. With focused effort, repetition, and emotional intensity, we can reprogram the subconscious and create a new inner blueprint for wealth. You're not poor because of your job or background. You're limited by the story your subconscious is still telling. The law of vibration tells us everything is energy. Your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs all carry a frequency. If you vibrate at the frequency of scarcity, fear, or unworthiness, you will attract experiences that match that energy. But when you shift your inner frequency to one of abundance, gratitude, and confidence, the universe responds with opportunity, flow, and wealth. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. So ask yourself, what are you really radiating to the world? Are your subconscious thoughts aligned with success or silently sabotaging it? Do you see money as a blessing or a burden? Do you feel worthy of receiving or secretly believe you'll always struggle? The good news is, your subconscious can't resist change if it's repeated with emotion and belief. Like clay, it can be molded. This audiobook is your guide to that transformation. In the chapters ahead, you'll learn how to uncover limiting beliefs, Use affirmations with power, visualize with emotion, and align your thoughts with wealth. You'll discover rituals, habits, and mindset shifts used by the world's most abundant minds. You'll explore both ancient spiritual practices and cutting-edge neuroscience to create change from the inside out. Because wealth isn't just about working harder, it's about working smarter. And the smartest work you'll ever do is on your subconscious. When your inner beliefs match your outer goals, success becomes effortless. It's time to stop chasing wealth and start attracting it, not with force, but with alignment, not through struggle, but through transformation. In this moment, declare it. You are no longer available for lack. You are no longer a victim of your past programming. You are ready to rewire your mind, raise your frequency, and rise into the wealth and abundance that has always been your birthright. The journey begins now. Chapter 2. Why you're blocked from wealth and don't even know it. You're not broken, you're not lazy, and you're not cursed. If you've struggled to create wealth, it's not because you lack intelligence or ambition. The real reason is far more hidden and far more powerful. You are blocked, not by the world, not by the economy, but by a set of deeply buried beliefs living in your subconscious mind. And the scariest part is, you probably don't even know they're there. Most people walk through life unaware that their financial reality is the reflection of their inner programming. They blame external factors, their job, the government, their upbringing, the system. But true wealth doesn't start outside. It begins within. You can't earn beyond your identity. You can't receive more than what you subconsciously believe you deserve. This is why two people with the same education, same background, and same opportunity can live drastically different lives. One thrives, the other struggles. The difference is not in the world, it's in the wiring. So how do these blocks form? They begin in childhood, long before you could reason or defend yourself. Maybe you grew up hearing things like, money doesn't grow on trees, we're not rich people, or rich people are selfish. These phrases weren't just words. They were commands to your subconscious. They became part of your identity. And now, years later, you find yourself stuck working harder, doing more, yet wealth remains just out of reach. These money blocks are not always loud. They're not always obvious. They often hide behind perfectionism, procrastination, undercharging, guilt around receiving, or fear of success. You might say you want wealth, but secretly fear losing it. You might dream of abundance, but feel ashamed when you make more than your peers. These inner conflicts create resistance, and resistance repels prosperity. Think about it. Have you ever sabotaged a financial opportunity? Maybe you didn't follow up. Maybe you let fear stop you from launching that business. Maybe you stayed in a job that drained you because deep down, you didn't believe you could do better. These are not failures. They're symptoms. Symptoms of a deeper belief that says, I'm not enough, or I don't deserve more. The subconscious is powerful. It will always find a way to make your external world match your internal story. If your story says, I'm not meant to be wealthy, it will block every opportunity, every idea, every breakthrough that could change your life. And it will do it quietly, with excuses, with doubt, with delay. That's the trap most people never escape. But here's the truth. These blocks are not permanent. They are not who you are. They are just thoughts you've believed for too long. They are inherited patterns, not sacred truths. And anything learned can be unlearned. Anything programmed can be reprogrammed. You have the power to choose a new story, one that aligns with abundance, one that says, I am worthy, I am capable, I am open to receive. To break through these blocks, awareness is the first step. You must become a detective of your own mind. Notice your emotional reactions around money. Do you feel guilty when you spend? Ashamed when you receive? Do you judge others for having more? Do you secretly believe wealth requires struggle or sacrifice? These reactions are windows into your subconscious beliefs. Don't judge them. Just observe. Awareness turns shadows into light. The next step is to challenge the old programming. If you were told money is evil, ask yourself, is that absolutely true? Or is that someone else's belief? If you believe you're not good with money, ask, who told me that? Whose voice is that in my head? Once you question the lie, you take away its power. The mind holds on to what feels familiar, not what's true. So to grow, you must make abundance feel familiar and lack feel foreign. This chapter is your wake-up call. Your current financial situation is not your fault, but it is your responsibility to change it. You were not born to struggle. You were not designed to live in lack. You were simply taught the wrong things about money. And now, you are unlearning them. You are clearing the path. You are removing the blocks one thought at a time. Because once the inner barriers fall, the outer world will shift. Money will no longer feel like a fight. It will become a flow. Opportunities will no longer feel rare. They will become natural. You don't have to force wealth. You only have to remove what's been blocking it. And when you do, you'll realize something powerful. Wealth was never outside you. It was always waiting inside. Behind the walls you're now ready to break. Chapter 3. Understanding the Science of Reprogramming. To change your life, you must first understand how your mind truly works. You are not just a thinker. You are a creator. But most people go through life thinking their thoughts are random, accidental, and powerless. In truth, your thoughts are tools. And when directed with intention, they become weapons of transformation. Let's start with the basics. Your mind is divided into two parts, the conscious and the subconscious. The conscious mind is logical, analytical, and aware. It's the voice you hear when you solve a problem or make a decision. But it's the subconscious mind, the quiet background operator that runs nearly 95% of your life. It controls your habits, beliefs, emotions, and patterns. It's always listening, always recording, always directing your actions, often without your permission. Now here's the key. Your subconscious mind doesn't think, it doesn't analyze, it doesn't argue. It simply accepts whatever it's fed repeatedly, especially with emotion. It's like a child watching everything you say, everything you feel, and everything you believe, and then building your life from that script. So when you constantly say, I'm broke, money is hard to get, or I can't afford that, you're not just expressing frustration. You're giving your subconscious a command. You are training your brain to accept financial struggle as normal. And once that belief is accepted, it becomes your default pattern. You'll start unconsciously choosing actions that match that belief: overspending, under-earning, missing chances, settling for less. But here's the beautiful part. Just like you were programmed, you can be reprogrammed. Enter the science of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change its structure and function in response to new input. For decades, scientists believed the brain was fixed after childhood. But we now know that's false. Your brain is malleable. You can grow new neural pathways. You can break old thought loops. You can literally reshape your brain to think, feel, and act like a wealthy person. How? Through repetition, emotion, and intention. The more you feed your subconscious a new belief like, I am wealthy, or I attract abundance, and do it consistently with emotion, the more those words become real. Not because they're magic, but because your brain starts wiring itself to support that identity. You'll begin noticing new opportunities. You'll feel more confident. You'll start taking aligned actions. And slowly your reality will begin to reflect your new inner script. Think of your brain like a path in the forest. The more you walk a trail, the clearer it becomes. That's your subconscious. It follows the path you walk most often. If you constantly repeat thoughts of lack, that path gets stronger. But the moment you stop walking that trail and start carving a new one, a path of wealth, gratitude, and belief, your brain will begin to shift direction. This isn't just theory. MRI scans have shown that with focused mental training, people can physically alter the density of gray matter in their brains. Meditators, athletes, successful entrepreneurs, they all use some form of mental conditioning to mold their minds for success. Why not you? This process is not instant. It's not a one-time affirmation or a single visualization session. Reprogramming your subconscious is a daily practice. It requires consistency, intensity, emotional engagement. But the results are profound, because when your subconscious believes you are abundant, your actions begin to align with wealth. You stop hesitating. You stop shrinking. You stop settling. Let's also talk about brainwaves. During normal daily activity, your brain operates in beta waves, alert and logical. But to access and influence the subconscious, you must enter alpha or theta, the slower, more receptive brain states. These occur during deep relaxation, early morning, late night, or meditation. That's why affirmations or visualizations are most powerful during those times your subconscious is wide open and ready to receive. The truth is simple. You don't have to fight for wealth. You don't have to hustle endlessly. You just have to program your inner world so deeply, so clearly, and so emotionally that your outer world has no choice but to change. This is the science of reprogramming. This is your power. You are not stuck with the mind you were given. You can build the mind you need for the life you desire. And that life is waiting. Wealth is waiting. Abundance is already knocking. All it takes is a decision to think differently, feel differently, and act like the person you're becoming. You're not becoming rich by accident. You're becoming rich by design. And that design begins now. Chapter 4. Money Beliefs You Inherited and Must Break Free From. Before you ever touched money, before you ever earned a single coin, before you ever made your first decision, you were already being shaped by someone else's beliefs about wealth. These beliefs weren't your own. They were passed down, whispered, imprinted, often by people who loved you, but who were also programmed by fear, scarcity, and struggle. Your mind didn't start as a blank slate. It was a sponge absorbing every word, every emotion, every subtle expression about money from those around you. If your parents struggled, fought over bills, or avoided financial conversations entirely, you learned that money was either a source of pain, a forbidden topic, or a constant problem. You didn't learn this logically. You learned it emotionally. And emotion is the language of the subconscious. Maybe you heard things like, "We can't afford that," or "That's for rich people," or "Money doesn't grow on trees." They sound harmless, even playful. But repetition made them truth. These phrases were not just family sayings, they were belief scripts. And those scripts got installed into your subconscious, like software running quietly in the background of your life. Think back. When you were young, how did the adults around you talk about money? Did they stress over it? Did they see it as evil or dangerous? Did they idolize wealth, but secretly resent the wealthy? These contradictions are powerful. They create inner confusion. You want money, but feel guilty for wanting it. You pursue success, but feel unworthy when you get close. You crave abundance, but sabotage it when it arrives. This is generational conditioning, not only from family, but from culture, religion, and society. Many cultures teach that poverty is noble and wealth is sinful, that wanting more is greedy, that suffering is spiritual. But these beliefs are not universal truths. They are inherited limitations. They are spiritual handcuffs disguised as morality. And here's the most dangerous part. If you don't question these inherited beliefs, you'll live your entire life by them. You'll think they're your thoughts, but they're echoes of someone else's pain. You'll think they're wisdom, but they're fear, wrapped in tradition. To break free, you must identify what you've been carrying that isn't yours. Take a moment. Ask yourself, what was my first memory of money? Did I feel safe or scared around it? What did my caregivers teach me through words or actions about wealth? What emotional tones surrounded money in my home? These questions are not surface level. They open the vault of your subconscious. They reveal the hidden programs running your financial life. Once you uncover these inherited beliefs, the next step is to question them relentlessly. If you believe money is hard to get, ask, is that always true? Are there people who attract money easily? If yes, what makes them different? Could it be that their beliefs allow it? If you believe, I'm just not good with money, ask, who told me that? Was it a teacher, a parent, a past mistake? Is that belief helping me or limiting me? Because here's the truth. Beliefs are not facts. They're just practice thoughts. And any thought, when repeated long enough, becomes a belief. That means you can install new beliefs deliberately, consciously, and powerfully. You can begin saying, I am worthy of abundance. Money is a tool for good. Wealth expands my ability to serve. Having more doesn't make me greedy. It makes me a greater blessing. The goal is not to reject your family. It's to evolve beyond their limitations. You honor them by healing what they didn't know how to. You break the chain by rising higher, thinking bigger, and choosing beliefs that align with your soul, not your scars. Understand this. You are not your past. You are not your parents' story. You are not your culture's limits. You are a creator. And right now, you are rewriting the script. This chapter is your permission slip to let go. Let go of inherited shame. Let go of generational lack. Let go of beliefs that never belonged to you. Because freedom begins with awareness. Abundance begins with alignment. And wealth begins the moment you decide. I choose my beliefs now. You don't have to carry what they couldn't let go of. You are the turning point, the chain breaker, the new chapter. And this chapter leads to wealth. Chapter 5. Neuroscience of Abundance. How to rewire your brain. Now that we understand the power of visualization, affirmations, and vibration, it's time to explore the neuroscience that makes all of this possible. How does the brain respond to the thoughts, beliefs, and emotions we consciously choose? How can we physically rewire our brains to align with abundance, wealth, and success? Let's start with a concept known as neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. In other words, your brain is not a static, unchangeable organ. It is dynamic, adaptable, and capable of change at any age. If you've ever heard the phrase, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, it's simply not true when it comes to the brain. With intention, you can reshape your thinking patterns and create new, empowering beliefs. Every time you think a thought, feel an emotion, or repeat an action, your brain forms a new neural connection. These connections become stronger with repetition. This is why new habits are difficult. At first, you're building new pathways, but over time, as you consistently think in new ways, these pathways become your default. You begin to think wealth, feel abundance, and take action aligned with success because your brain has physically rewired itself to do so. Now let's take this deeper. The brain is constantly receiving input from the environment, your experiences, and your inner world. Your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions influence the electrical activity in your brain. When you repeatedly think in alignment with wealth, when you believe you are worthy of abundance, your brain begins to fire in ways that support those beliefs. This process strengthens specific areas of the brain associated with motivation, reward, and decision-making. Conversely, when you think thoughts of fear, scarcity, or self-doubt, your brain also forms connections that reinforce those feelings. This is why people stuck in a cycle of poverty or scarcity often find it difficult to break free. Their brain is conditioned to focus on lack, not abundance. But the beauty of neuroplasticity is that you can change these patterns. You can train your brain to focus on opportunities, prosperity, and wealth by creating new positive neural pathways. So how do you begin rewiring your brain for wealth? It starts with intention and repetition. Every time you consciously choose to think thoughts of abundance, even if you don't believe them at first, you are literally changing your brain structure. The more you repeat those thoughts, the more they become wired into your default operating system. This is why consistent practice is key. It's not enough to just think positive thoughts for a day or two. It takes time, patience, and persistence to change deeply ingrained neural patterns. One powerful tool to aid in this rewiring is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of becoming aware of your thoughts and feelings without judgment. When you can observe your thoughts objectively, without reacting emotionally, you gain the power to choose new thoughts. For example, when a thought of, "I'll never be rich," arises, you can recognize it as a product of old programming and choose to replace it with, "Abundance is my natural state." This awareness allows you to catch negative thoughts in real time and replace them with wealth-aligned ones, helping to dissolve old, limiting beliefs. Over time, mindfulness helps retrain your brain to focus on abundance rather than scarcity. Another critical aspect of brain rewiring is emotion. The brain doesn't just respond to logical thoughts, it responds to emotionally charged thoughts. This is why visualization and affirmations are so powerful. When you attach emotion to a positive thought or belief, your brain takes that information more seriously. For example, when you visualize yourself paying off debt, feeling the relief and joy, your brain experiences those emotions as if they're happening in the present moment. This creates a stronger neural connection to the feeling of abundance. Your brain is also influenced by your environment. The people you spend time with, the media you consume, and the energy you surround yourself with all contribute to your mental programming. If you're constantly exposed to scarcity-based thinking, whether it's through the news, negative social media posts, or conversations with friends and family who struggle with money, your brain will naturally default to those beliefs. But when you consciously surround yourself with positive influences, people who think big, talk about wealth, and act with abundance, you are literally immersing your brain in a wealth-oriented environment. And as you spend more time in this new environment, your brain will begin to retrain itself. You've heard the saying, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." This applies not just to your social circle, but to your entire mental ecosystem. If you want to rewire your brain for abundance, you must consciously choose environments, people, and experiences that support your wealth mindset. To accelerate your brain rewiring, consider incorporating brainwave entrainment techniques. Brainwave entrainment uses specific frequencies of sound to guide your brain into different states of consciousness. For example, alpha waves, which are associated with deep relaxation and creativity, and theta waves, associated with deep meditation and subconscious programming, can be used to deepen your visualizations and affirmations. Listening to brainwave frequencies while meditating or practicing gratitude can help you access your subconscious mind more easily and enhance the process of rewiring. The science of rewiring your brain is simple. What you focus on grows. As you continue to practice visualization, affirmations, mindfulness, and emotional engagement, your brain will begin to change. And when your brain changes, your actions will change. When your actions change, your results change. This is the step-by-step process of reprogramming your subconscious mind for wealth and abundance. You are not at the mercy of your old thought patterns. You have the power to create new neural pathways that support your success. Every thought you think, every feeling you feel, and every action you take is literally sculpting the brain that will lead you to the life you desire. So ask yourself, what do I want to create in my life? What thoughts will support that creation? What emotions will I need to feel in order to align with my new reality? How can I create a wealth-supportive environment to strengthen my new mindset? Because the truth is simple. When you change your brain, you change your life. And when your life changes, wealth is no longer a dream. It becomes your new reality. Chapter 6. Rituals and Daily Practices to Reprogram Wealth into Your Mind. Transformation is not a one-time event. It's a daily commitment. Just like you nourish your body with food, you must nourish your mind with powerful thoughts, aligned habits, and consistent rituals. The truth is, your subconscious doesn't respond to what you do once. It responds to what you do repeatedly. And when you create a daily routine that feeds your inner wealth identity, your outer reality has no choice but to shift. The most successful and abundant people don't just wish for wealth, they ritualize it. They build it into their morning routines, their thoughts, their language, and their energy. If you want to reprogram your subconscious mind for abundance, you must create rituals that activate abundance mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Let's begin with the first and most powerful ritual, the morning wealth alignment practice. Before you pick up your phone, before the noise of the world floods in, give your subconscious a clear, intentional message. Sit in silence for a few minutes. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath and visualize the version of you who is already wealthy, not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, and energetically. See how they walk, speak, decide, and receive. Feel every word as truth. Let it vibrate through your body. Speak as if your future is already happening, because to the subconscious, it is. Do this consistently, and your mind will start seeking alignment with that version of you. And when your identity changes, your results must follow. Now let's introduce the Gratitude Amplifier Ritual, a powerful tool to shift your vibration into receiving mode. Each day, write down at least 5 things you're deeply grateful for. But don't stop at the list. Feel it. Gratitude is a high-frequency emotion. When you live in gratitude, you signal to your subconscious that you are abundant, and abundance responds to that signal. Gratitude softens resistance, erases fear, and opens your energy field to more. Next, commit to a wealth language cleanse. Words shape reality. Eliminate phrases like, I can't afford that, that's too expensive, or money is always a struggle. Replace them with wealth-conscious language. That's not in my plan right now, but I'm open to receiving it soon. I choose to spend wisely because I respect money. Money flows in and out of my life with purpose and abundance. Speak in a way that honors money, not fears it. Speak like someone who expects success, because every word you say is an instruction to your subconscious. Another vital ritual is daily action from abundance. Even if it's small, take at least one action every day that reflects the mindset of your abundant self. That might mean investing in a course, asking for a raise, promoting your service, saving with intention, or simply treating yourself with respect. When your actions align with abundance, you reinforce the belief that you are already living it. Abundance isn't just a feeling. It's a frequency you embody through consistent movement. Now let's talk about environmental anchoring. Your surroundings program your subconscious more than you realize. Declutter your space. Organize your finances. Place visual reminders of your goals where you'll see them daily, a vision board, an inspiring quote, a bank balance you're working toward. Surround yourself with symbols of success and messages of growth. Even the colors, scents, and sounds in your space can shift your emotional state. Make your environment a sanctuary for your new identity. Another powerful tool is nighttime reprogramming. As you drift into sleep, your brain moves into theta waves, the gateway to the subconscious. This is the perfect time to imprint new beliefs. Play audio affirmations, abundance meditations, or wealth mindset recordings while you sleep. Let these messages sink in. Your conscious mind rests, but your subconscious listens. Over time, these repeated messages become your default inner voice. Also include a self-image rebuild ritual. Every night, write down one empowering thing you did that day. One win, one step forward. This reinforces your identity as someone who takes action, who grows, who is becoming more. The subconscious thrives on repetition and certainty. When you remind yourself every day that you're evolving, you strengthen the inner belief that you are no longer who you were. You are who you're becoming. Lastly, integrate the receiving ritual. Too often, people block abundance because they struggle to receive. Start saying yes with grace when someone offers you help, compliments you, or gives you a gift. Receiving is not selfish. It is sacred. It teaches your subconscious that you are open, that you are available, that you are ready. The more you allow yourself to receive, the more you signal to the universe, I'm a match for more. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. Rituals are about building trust with your subconscious. Every day you show up, you send a message. This is who I am now. And when that message becomes familiar, it becomes reality. Because wealth isn't something you chase, it's something you tune into. And these rituals are the daily tuning forks of your new frequency. So design your days like someone who's already abundant. Think like them, speak like them, act like them, feel like them, live like them. And soon, you'll become them. Chapter 7. The Role of Gratitude, Giving, and Receiving. True wealth isn't just about how much you have. It's about how open you are open to give, open to receive, and most importantly, open to feel gratitude for all of it. Gratitude, giving, and receiving aren't just positive emotions or social niceties. They are energetic frequencies, and they are the keys to unlocking the subconscious codes of abundance. Let's begin with gratitude, the seed of all wealth. When you live in gratitude, you are training your subconscious mind to recognize what is already abundant in your life. You shift your focus from lack to sufficiency, from scarcity to overflow. You tell your inner world, I am supported. I am enough. Life is already providing for me. And the subconscious listens. When gratitude becomes your dominant vibration, the universe responds with more to be grateful for. Gratitude is not a reaction. It's a choice. It's not only reserved for the big wins, the pay raises, or the dream house. It's for the warm sun, the cup of tea, the opportunity to grow. When you practice daily gratitude, especially in the moments when it's hardest, you rewire your mind to see abundance where others see nothing. This rewiring dissolves resistance. It softens fear, and it creates emotional alignment with receiving. Because only a grateful heart can truly hold wealth without fear of losing it. Next, let's talk about giving, one of the most misunderstood wealth principles. You don't give because you have extra. You give because giving expands your energy. It tells the universe, there's more where that came from. Giving breaks the illusion of scarcity. It breaks the grip of hoarding. It reminds your subconscious that money is a river, not a reservoir, and rivers flow in both directions. You've been taught to save, to protect, to hold tightly. And yes, financial wisdom matters, but so does flow. And nothing gets you into the energy of flow faster than intentional, joyful giving. Whether it's money, time, love, attention, or encouragement, when you give freely, You signal to your subconscious, I trust that I am supported. I believe in overflow. Giving doesn't have to be grand. It just has to be genuine. It's not about the amount. It's about the energy behind it. Did you give with fear or with faith? Did you give from guilt or from gratitude? When you give with love, you activate a cycle. What you give returns multiplied. This is not spiritual fantasy. It's energetic law. You are not rewarded for sacrifice. You are expanded through circulation, because abundance is movement, and generosity is proof that you're in tune with the current. But giving is only half of the equation. The other often neglected half is receiving. So many people block wealth, not because they can't earn, but because they subconsciously resist receiving. They feel unworthy. They feel guilty. They deflect compliments. They shrink from praise. They say, "You didn't have to," instead of simply saying, "Thank you." But here's the truth. If you cannot receive small things with grace, how will you ever hold the big things with confidence? Receiving is a skill, a frequency, an act of surrender. When you allow yourself to receive openly, humbly, and joyfully, you tell your subconscious, I am safe to have. I am worthy to hold. I am open to more. Start small. Let people bless you. Let life surprise you. Accept gifts, compliments, help, opportunities. Say yes. Breathe in. Smile. Feel it. Receiving does not make you weak. It makes you magnetic. There's an energetic loop between giving and receiving. When you master both, you live in circulation. And circulation is the rhythm of the universe. Trees give oxygen. Rivers give water. The sun gives light. And yet they all receive in equal measure. So must you. But here's the deeper truth. Gratitude is the glue. Gratitude connects giving and receiving into one continuous current. Gratitude when you give. Gratitude when you receive. Gratitude even before it comes. That's the ultimate secret. When you give thanks in advance, you collapse time. You align with the version of you who already has. So make these 3 a part of your daily wealth ritual. Gratitude in the morning for what is and what's on its way. Giving during the day, even if it's a smile, a kind word, a small donation. Receiving with joy without guilt, without shrinking, with full presence. When you live in this loop, you train your subconscious that wealth is safe, love is abundant, and life is generous. You stop trying to control, you start allowing, and abundance responds. Because you were never meant to chase wealth. You were meant to embody it. And that embodiment begins with how you give, how you receive, and how you say, again and again, thank you. Chapter 8. Letting go of scarcity, releasing fear, doubt, and control for me. To welcome abundance into your life, there's one critical task that must be done. Releasing the old emotional baggage of scarcity, fear, and doubt. These energies don't just hold you back. They act as anchors, preventing you from fully stepping into the flow of wealth and prosperity. Letting go is not just a mental exercise. It's an emotional and energetic release that clears the path for new, expansive energy to enter your life. First, let's understand scarcity. Scarcity is not just about not having enough money. It's a mindset. It's the belief that there is a limited supply of resources, opportunities, or blessings in the world. This belief creates fear, anxiety, and competition, and it keeps you stuck in a loop of lack. It whispers in your ear, "You're not enough. There's never enough. Someone else is always ahead." But here's the truth. Scarcity is an illusion. Wealth is not limited. Abundance is not exclusive. It's a universal law that there is always more than enough for everyone. The more you believe in scarcity, the more you act from fear. You cling to what you have. You overwork. You overspend. You push, chase, and hustle. But none of this is necessary. The first step in breaking free from scarcity is acknowledging it. Awareness is the key to freedom. When you catch yourself thinking, "I can't afford this," or "there's not enough for me," stop. Take a deep breath. This thought is a program. It's an old belief running in the background, and you don't need it anymore. Instead, say to yourself, "I am abundant. There is always enough. The universe is infinitely generous." When you begin to see through the illusion of scarcity, you no longer need to fight for what is already yours. Abundance is your birthright. The universe is filled with limitless possibilities, and you are a magnet for them. Next, let's dive into fear and doubt, the silent saboteurs of abundance. Fear tells you that you are not worthy, that you don't deserve the wealth you desire. Fear keeps you stuck in the comfort zone of mediocrity, making you believe that striving for more is dangerous or reckless. Doubt creeps in and says, "What if I fail? What if I make a mistake? What if I'm not good enough?" But fear and doubt are just stories. They are not facts. They are emotions, and emotions are temporary. Fear is often a byproduct of perceived risk, not actual danger. Doubt is a reflection of past experiences, not present truth. And if you listen to fear and doubt, you let the past dictate your future. To release fear, you must step into courage. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the willingness to act in spite of it. When you feel fear rising, acknowledge it, but don't let it control you. Take one small step toward your goal, even if your heart is racing. Every step you take in faith dissolves fear. Every small action you take reinforces the belief that you are safe and worthy of abundance. And then there's doubt. Doubt is insidious. It tricks you into thinking you need to be perfect before you act, that you need to have all the answers before you make a move. But doubt is just a shadow of your ego, trying to keep you small. The truth is, you will never have all the answers. The perfect time will never come. But action, even imperfect action, is the antidote to doubt. When you take consistent action, doubt fades, because results begin to speak for themselves. One of the most powerful ways to release fear and doubt is to start building your self-trust. Trust yourself enough to take imperfect action. Trust yourself enough to make mistakes and learn. Trust yourself enough to believe that everything you need is already within you. Self-trust builds momentum, and momentum crushes doubt. Now let's talk about control. The need to control is often born from fear. When we're afraid that we won't have enough, we feel the need to micromanage every situation, whether it's our money, relationships, or career. We try to dictate every outcome, believing that control equals safety. But the truth is, control is an illusion. When you try to control everything, you resist the natural flow of life. You block the very abundance you seek. You push away opportunities because you're too busy trying to force your way. The universe works in ways that you can't always predict, and trying to control every step only creates tension and stress. The key is surrender. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing the need to micromanage every detail and trusting that life has a plan for you, one that is bigger and more aligned with your highest good. Surrender is the act of saying, "I trust that everything is unfolding as it should, and I'm open to receiving what comes." When you surrender, you allow life to work with you, not against you. You flow with the current instead of fighting it. And when you let go of control, you make space for the wealth and opportunities that have been waiting for you all along. To truly release fear, doubt, and control, try this simple but powerful exercise. Identify the fear, doubt, or need for control that is holding you back. Acknowledge that this belief or emotion is a program, not your truth. Release it, either by saying it out loud, writing it down, or visualizing it leaving your body. Imagine it dissolving into the air. Affirm your new belief. I am safe. I am worthy. I trust the process of life. I am open to receive. Remember, the subconscious cannot hold on to what you no longer need. When you release the old beliefs, you make room for the new, and the new is abundance. You are not meant to live in fear. You are meant to live in flow. And when you let go of scarcity, doubt, and control, you open yourself up to receiving more than you ever thought possible. Chapter 9. The Power of Consistency. How to keep the abundance flowing. Consistency. It's not flashy. It doesn't always feel exciting, but it is the most underrated superpower in your journey toward wealth and abundance. The truth is, anyone can feel abundant for a moment. Anyone can say an affirmation once, meditate for a day, or visualize their dream life a few times. But only those who show up again and again, even when the results aren't visible yet, truly unlock the flow of lasting wealth. Your subconscious mind doesn't respond to intensity. It responds to repetition. It rewires, not through what you do once, but through what you do daily. This is how new beliefs are formed, how new habits are locked in, and how your identity begins to shift from lack to abundance. Consistency is the glue that binds your thoughts, energy, and action into alignment with your new self. Each time you repeat your rituals, affirmations, gratitude, visualizations, inspired actions, you're sending a signal to your subconscious. This is who I am now. This is my new truth. This is what I expect and accept in my life. And your subconscious, ever faithful, responds. But here's where most people fall off. They stop when they don't see results immediately. They expect instant miracles, instant money, instant transformation. But real reprogramming is like planting seeds in a garden. You water them, nourish them, speak to them even when nothing has broken through the soil yet. Why? Because you trust the process. You know the roots are forming. You know growth is happening underground, even when you can't see it. That's what consistency is: trust in motion. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be extreme. You just have to keep showing up. Even 5 minutes a day of focused, aligned energy is better than hours of scattered, desperate effort. The subconscious responds to emotional certainty, not time on the clock. So if you miss a day, that's okay. Don't spiral. Don't quit. Don't fall back into the lie that you've ruined everything. No, just begin again. Recommit. Repeat. Your power lies not in never falling, but in always rising. Let's get even more practical now. Here's how to build consistency into your wealth programming. 1. Stack your rituals with existing habits. Tie your affirmations to brushing your teeth. Add visualization to your morning coffee time. Listen to abundance affirmations during your daily walk. When you link new practices to existing routines, they become automatic. 2. Track your practice. Use a calendar, journal, or app to mark every day you practice. This builds visual momentum. It turns consistency into a game. When you see your streak growing, you're less likely to break it. 3. Create accountability. Tell someone about your practice. Share your goals. Join a community or support group focused on abundance and growth. When someone else is aware of your commitment, you'll feel more inspired to stay on track. 4. Celebrate small wins. Every time you notice a mindset shift, a new opportunity, an unexpected gift, celebrate it. Write it down. Say thank you. Recognizing these small moments reinforces the idea that your consistent energy is working. 5. Expect resistance and move anyway. Your old identity will try to pull you back. Your subconscious will test your commitment. You'll have days of doubt, boredom, even fear. But this is part of the process. Show up anyway. Do it scared. Do it tired. Do it uncertain. The act of doing it is what creates the shift. Remember, wealth is not built in one breakthrough. It's built in small, steady shifts that compound over time. That daily meditation? It's changing your nervous system. That repeated affirmation? It's reshaping your beliefs. That tiny decision to act from abundance instead of fear? It's changing your reality. Consistency builds identity. Identity builds momentum. And momentum leads to manifestation. You don't need to work harder, you need to stay aligned longer. Wealth doesn't just come from what you do. It comes from who you become through what you repeatedly do. So choose your rituals. Make them non-negotiable. Create a sacred space in your day, even if it's just 10 minutes to connect with your future self. Visualize, affirm, journal, breathe, give thanks, and most importantly, return every day. Because the compound effect of your daily energy is unstoppable. What you do today becomes who you are tomorrow, and who you are attracts what you receive. So don't just hope for abundance. Don't just wish for wealth. Practice it. Show up for it. Live it repeatedly. You're not just reprogramming your mind. You're reshaping your future. One day at a time. One thought at a time. One choice at a time. Chapter 10. Integrating wealth into your identity. Becoming the person who attracts abundance. We've explored the power of thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and daily rituals. But none of it will fully take root unless you become the kind of person who naturally attracts wealth. Not temporarily, not accidentally, but consistently, because it's who you are now. This is the final frontier of true abundance, identity transformation. Because here's the secret most people miss. You don't get wealthy by trying harder. You get wealthy by being someone different. And that someone isn't out there, that someone is already within you, waiting to be unleashed. Let's begin with a powerful truth. Your identity creates your destiny. Your subconscious identity, the image you hold of yourself, is the thermostat that controls your reality. You can visualize, affirm, and work all day long, but if deep inside, you still see yourself as broke, unlucky, not good with money, or not worthy, your subconscious will sabotage your success every single time. So the question becomes, who do you believe you are? Because until you shift that belief, your outer world won't shift permanently. This is not about pretending or faking it. This is about remembering your truth. It's about aligning with the most abundant version of yourself, the one that already exists in potential. So let's meet that version now. Close your eyes and imagine. You wake up in the morning feeling peace, not panic. You look at your bank account and feel proud, not anxious. You walk into rooms with confidence, not comparison. You give generously, invest wisely, and receive easily. You trust life. You trust yourself. You know money loves you. Now ask yourself, what does this version of me believe about money? How do they speak? What do they do on a daily basis? What do they no longer tolerate? What kind of relationships, habits, and standards do they uphold? This version of you isn't a fantasy. It's your next level identity, and your job is to integrate it into your life now. Here's how. Step 1. Name your new identity. Give this version of you a name, a personality, a style. Make it real. Maybe it's Abundant Alex, CEO Priya, or Wealthy Warrior. This anchors your new identity into your subconscious. It gives your brain a character to grow into. Step 2. Dress, speak, and act like them now. Identity is reinforced through action. You don't wait to become wealthy to feel worthy. You feel worthy first, and the wealth follows. Show up today as your future self. Make decisions as they would. Spend, Save, speak, and serve from that place. Step 3. Change your inner dialogue. Catch the moments when you speak to yourself from the old self. I'll never have enough. I'm not smart with money. It's too hard. Interrupt the pattern. Replace it immediately with, I am learning wealth with ease. Every day I grow richer in every way. Wealth is my new normal. Your identity is shaped by the stories you repeat. Change the story, change the self. Step 4. Surround yourself with identity mirrors. Who you spend time with is who you become. Surround yourself with people, mentors, podcasts, books, and content that mirror your future self. If no one in your current life reflects that identity, borrow one from books or videos. Absorb their energy until it becomes your own. Step 5. Elevate your standards. Your identity is reflected in what you tolerate. The abundant version of you doesn't shrink for approval, doesn't delay decisions out of fear, doesn't settle for less than alignment. Start saying no to the things that drain you. Say yes only to what expands you. Now here's something powerful to remember. The subconscious mind follows emotion. So the more you feel like your wealthy self, the faster your identity locks in. Don't just think abundance, embody it emotionally. Feel the freedom. Feel the certainty. Feel the peace of knowing you are supported. When you embody your new identity with feeling, your subconscious starts treating it as truth. And once it becomes truth inside, the outside must shift to reflect it. This is how people go from broke to blessed, from stuck to soaring, not by forcing, but by becoming. Becoming the kind of person who doesn't chase money because money naturally flows to who they are. Becoming the kind of person who doesn't need to prove because their presence already radiates value. Becoming the kind of person who doesn't fear failure because they know success is inevitable. This is the real secret. You are not attracting wealth. You are attracting experiences that match who you believe you are. So start believing. Start embodying. Start integrating. Because wealth isn't just what you have. It's who you are. In Chapter 11, Aligning with the Divine Timing. Trusting the process of manifestation. Sometimes you do the work. You think the thoughts. You speak the affirmations. You visualize, you believe, you act in alignment. But still, the wealth hasn't shown up. The opportunity hasn't arrived. The breakthrough hasn't landed. And in that waiting, doubt creeps in. You wonder, is it even working? Did I do something wrong? Am I missing something? But here's the truth. Manifestation isn't just about speed. It's about alignment. And alignment happens on divine timing, not your timeline. There is a rhythm to life. A sacred unfolding that goes beyond logic and clocks and calendars. And just because something hasn't happened yet, doesn't mean it's not happening. It may already be on its way, orchestrating behind the scenes, aligning people, places, and circumstances to deliver what you've asked for. This is where your greatest power comes in. Trust. Trust is the bridge between intention and manifestation. It's the quiet strength that says, even if I can't see it, I believe it's coming. It's the inner knowing that your efforts are never wasted. That energy you send out in thought, feeling, and action always comes back, just not always in the form or timing you expected. Divine timing is not about delay. It's about preparation. Sometimes you're not waiting for the manifestation is waiting for you to become the person who can hold it, handle it, and honor it. Maybe the wealth you desire is massive, but your current mindset can't hold it yet. Maybe the opportunity you're praying for would crush the old version of you. Maybe the life you're calling in is so beautiful that your soul is being shaped right now, just to fully receive it. That's not punishment. That's love. That's wisdom. That's divine timing. So what do you do while you wait? You don't sit in despair. You align. You trust. You act like it's already done. You keep showing up. You keep doing your rituals. You keep making decisions from your wealthy self. You keep giving. You keep receiving. You keep saying thank you, not because it's here, but because you know it's coming. That is energetic certainty. And certainty collapses timelines. The universe responds to unwavering belief. It rewards faith in motion. It delivers to the ones who trust the most, not just when it's easy, but when nothing around them seems to be working. Because here's what most people never understand. Manifestation doesn't happen when you get what you want. It happens the moment you fully believe it's already yours. In that moment of inner certainty, something powerful unlocks. Your nervous system relaxes. Your energy expands. Your actions align. And suddenly, you become magnetic. The doors open. The people show up. The money flows in. Not because you forced it, but because you finally let go. Let go of the timeline. Let go of the how. Let go of the need to see immediate proof. And instead, lean into trust. Trust the process. Trust the unfolding. Trust the divine. Everything is working in your favor, even if you don't understand how yet. Divine timing is never late. It's never wrong. It's always perfect. Your only job is to stay in alignment while the universe finishes what you've already asked it to start. So breathe. You're not behind. You're not blocked. You're not being ignored. You're being prepared for something bigger, deeper, and more aligned than your current self could even imagine. Stay patient, stay present, stay powerful. Because what's yours is already on its way. Chapter 12. Breaking Generational Money Beliefs and Cultural Programming. Before you ever earned your first dollar, before you ever held a wallet, paid a bill, or dreamed of success, you were already being programmed. Not just by your own experiences, but by those who came before you, your parents, grandparents, ancestors. You inherited more than just their eye color or last name. You inherited their money beliefs, their fears, their struggles, their limitations, and sometimes their pain. This is called generational programming. And until you become conscious of it, you will unconsciously repeat it. Think about it. What did you hear about money growing up? Money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are greedy. We can't afford that. You have to work hard for every penny. Money always causes problems. These phrases weren't just words. They were download scripts installed in your subconscious before you had the power to question them. And now, even as an adult trying to attract abundance, these old beliefs may still be running in the background, secretly shaping your financial reality. Maybe you sabotage opportunities just as things start going well. Maybe you feel guilty when you make more money than your parents ever did. Maybe you can't hold on to wealth, no matter how much you earn. Or maybe you stay small, so you don't outshine your family or break away from your culture's rules. But here's the truth. You were born to evolve the lineage, not to repeat it. You were born to heal, transform, and uplift your entire bloodline by choosing a new belief system. A system based on possibility, not poverty. The moment you decide, I will not carry this scarcity forward, you become the cycle breaker, the generational liberator, the one who upgrades the story, not just for yourself, but for everyone who comes after you. It starts with awareness. Notice what old scripts play in your mind. Notice what emotions rise when you talk about money, shame, guilt, fear, anger. These are signals. They're showing you where the programming still lives. And once you see it, you can heal it. Here's a simple but powerful exercise. Write a letter to money as if it were a person. Let it all out. The pain, the memories, the inherited beliefs. Be raw. Be honest. Then write a second letter from your future self to money. A new relationship, a new voice, a declaration of peace, love, and partnership. You can also speak affirmations that rewrite ancestral beliefs like, I honor my ancestors, but I choose my own path. I am free from generational scarcity. It is safe to be wealthier than my parents. Abundance is my birthright, and I claim it now. And remember, healing doesn't mean blaming. Your parents did the best they could with what they knew. Your culture handed down what it thought would protect you. But survival is no longer the goal. Thriving is. Give yourself permission to become someone your family has never seen before. Someone who earns with ease, spends with purpose, receives with joy, and gives with power. Because when you rise, you don't dishonor your roots. You expand them. You create a new standard for love, for freedom, for success. You show others what's possible, not just with your words, but with your life. You are the turning point, the shift, the one your ancestors dreamed of. And when you choose abundance now, you send a ripple of healing across time, backward, to those who came before you, forward, to those who will come after, and inward, to every version of you still holding on to lack. Let it go now. You don't have to carry scarcity anymore. You are safe to rise. You are safe to receive. You are safe to lead your lineage into wealth. Chapter 13. Creating a Wealth Legacy Building. Abundance beyond yourself. At first, we chase wealth to survive. Then we seek it to thrive. But eventually, the greatest purpose of abundance reveals itself: to serve beyond ourselves. To leave a legacy that lasts longer than our name and impacts lives we may never even meet. Because wealth, when rooted in purpose, becomes a force for generational change. But what exactly is a wealth legacy? It's not just property, portfolios, or possessions. A true wealth legacy is about what you build, what you teach, and what you inspire. It's the ripple effect of your thoughts, energy, habits, and actions. It's the example you set, the mindset you pass on, the freedom you create, not just for you, but for others. And here's the truth. You don't need millions in your account to begin. You can start today by choosing to live with intention. Because when you live with a mindset of legacy, your decisions shift. You no longer think in days, you think in decades. You no longer act from impulse, you act from impact. Let's break this down. Step 1. Define the legacy you want to leave. Ask yourself, what do I want to be remembered for? What values do I want my children, my community, my world to inherit from me? What problems do I want my wealth to help solve even after I'm gone? Maybe it's financial education for your family. Maybe it's building schools. Maybe it's creating jobs. Maybe it's showing your community what's possible when one person chooses to rise. Your legacy doesn't start when you die. It starts the moment you live intentionally. Step 2. Shift from accumulation to multiplication. Real wealth is not in how much you can store. It's in how much you can grow, circulate, and expand. Every dollar you attract is a seed. Will you bury it in fear or plant it in purpose? Learn to multiply what you receive. Invest wisely. Create systems that work while you rest. Build assets, not just income. And most importantly, teach others how to do the same. Legacy isn't just built by what you leave behind. It's built by what you transfer while you're alive. Step 3. Build a wealth culture in your home and life. Whether you have children or not, you are always influencing those around you. Speak the language of abundance. Demonstrate financial wisdom. Celebrate growth, not just consumption. Create rituals of gratitude and giving that others can model. Let your life be a lighthouse, so that even when people don't know your name, they feel the light you lit. Step 4. Use wealth as a tool for justice, healing, and empowerment. Wealth gives you options, but more than that, it gives you voice. You can fund movements, support causes, create safe spaces, break cycles of oppression and limitation in real, tangible ways. You're not just building a life, you're building a wave of elevation for everyone connected to you. And here's the beautiful twist. The more legacy-driven you become, the more wealth flows to you. Why? Because the universe supports expansive intentions. When money knows it will be honored, used with purpose, and returned to the world with grace, it flows more freely, more often, and more abundantly. You become a divine channel, not a container. And in that flow, you experience the deepest truth of abundance, that wealth is not the destination. It's the delivery system for your soul's impact. So, what does your legacy look like? It could be the child who learns they are powerful because of your example, the community that rises because you believed in them, the soul who hears your voice and finally chooses to believe in abundance again. That's wealth. That's impact. That's what you're truly here to create. You're not just reprogramming your subconscious for money. You're reprogramming your entire lineage, your entire world, your entire future. And it starts with one decision: to become someone whose abundance is not just for self, but for legacy. Chapter 14, The Final Integration, Living Abundance. Every day in every way, you've traveled a journey not just through ideas, but through deep shifts in energy, identity, and possibility. You've explored thoughts and rewired beliefs. You've reprogrammed your subconscious, uncovered emotional patterns, and made space for something bigger than just money. You've stepped into the truth. Abundance is not something you chase. It's something you become. And now here you are, at the final chapter. But really, this is only the beginning. Because true transformation doesn't end when the teaching ends. It begins when the teaching becomes your lifestyle. This is your invitation to live in daily abundance, not as a goal to reach, but as a state to embody. So let's integrate everything into a simple, sacred, and sustainable way of living. 1. Start each day in abundance. Before you check your phone, scroll through news, or face the world, pause. Connect with your future self. Speak your wealth affirmations aloud. I am abundance. I am worthy of massive wealth. Today I receive miracles with ease. Feel it in your body. Breathe into it. This moment of alignment sets the frequency for your entire day. 2. Make every decision from your wealth identity. At every choice point, ask, what would my wealthy self do right now? Would they panic or trust? Would they settle or rise? Would they hoard or circulate? The more you make decisions from that upgraded identity, the more natural it becomes. Until one day, you look back and realize you didn't just think differently, you became different. 3. Stay in ritual. Stay in flow. Abundance is not a destination, it's a flow. And flow is fueled by ritual. Affirm every morning. Visualize what you want as already done. Give thanks before it arrives. Celebrate every small manifestation. Journal your wins. Give and receive often. These rituals are your anchor even when life feels chaotic. Even when doubt whispers. Even when old patterns try to rise again. Return to your ritual. Return to yourself. 4. Catch and rewire old patterns. Fast. You've done deep work to reprogram your subconscious. But the old self may still knock. When you catch yourself in scarcity thinking, pause. When you feel fear rising, breathe. When doubt tries to take over, speak truth over it. Say, that's the old me. But I am no longer available for scarcity. I choose wealth. I choose faith. I choose flow. This daily redecision is the final seal on your transformation. 5. Let your abundance bless others. You are not here to hoard. You are here to circulate, to inspire, to heal. Use your wealth to uplift those around you, not from obligation, but from overflow. Show others what's possible. Lead with compassion, not comparison. Be the example of what happens when someone commits to inner wealth first. You're not just living abundance, you're modeling it. 6. Trust, always. Some days the results will show, some days they won't. But no matter what, trust. You are being supported in ways you cannot always see. The energy is real, the rewiring is working. The wealth is coming in both visible and invisible ways. You are on the frequency now. You are in the flow now. And you are never alone in this. Final words. So now, breathe. Look at how far you've come. You've unlocked something most people never even touch. Not just money, but the consciousness behind it. Not just prosperity, but purpose. You are no longer someone chasing abundance. You are someone who radiates it. So walk boldly. Speak powerfully. Give generously. Receive gratefully. Think expansively. And live fully. You are the abundance. You are the light. You are the new pattern, the new generation, the new vibration. You are wealth in motion. And your best days are no longer ahead of you. They are here, now, always.